So in class A, I have declared small I as a private variable, private integer I. I'm using I in constructor to initialize value of I, and show method will display value of I. Now I have a class B which extends A. Initially, let's keep I as a default access specifier without giving any private, public or protected. Suppose it is default integer I, and this is in B we have integer j, and we have to initialize I and j. I is initialized with A and j is initialized with B. Why I? Because I is declared in method A. So I is available for class B because B extends A, and same thing for J. J is its own local variable. So whenever we create object for B, it has two variables I and J, but it won't allow you to declare here. We have to use super keyword, and we are displaying value of ij with show function of class B. So this is the class B complete. Then in here we'll create object of class B. B1 is equal to new class B, new B, and let pass some values, say 20, 30. 20 is for A and 30 is for B, and B1 dot show. So it will call show function for B1 object. It is showing error. Constructor A in class A cannot be applied to given types. Note that whenever we create object of class B, so for this new B 2030, constructor of B will be called. Now B extends A, so constructor of A will be called, and here it requires this parameter which is not passed. That's why we get this error. So what we have to do here is, instead of initializing I here, we have to use super keyword, super, and pass value of A. This one. You can pass A or B, whatever you want, but I'm assigning A to small I and B to small j. So super dot A will call this constructor, and it will initialize this I, which is inherited or overridden in B. So now your program will work. This is the first use of super keyword, to call base class constructor. It takes time to execute. So now execution is started. First we are creating object of A just to show base class is working class. Classes which is already available with variables, with methods, and this class is ready to use. And then we want to add something new to this class. That's why we have created class B. So class A is working fine. We can show those values. Now we are creating class B which extends A with another variable J. But B can use I, which is not defined in class B, but it is defined in class A. So B has, you can see here B's instance has I as well as J. We are passing 20 and 30. So 20 is initialized with I and 30 is allocated to J. And super method, this method will be executed and will get the output. This method is getting executed, system.out.println I in subclass and j in subclass. So it will show 20 and 30. Okay, I have initialized here. Twenty is I, j is 30. I'm displaying what I'm displaying, I and j. Here the problem is in my system.out.println. Here I have to print j. Object A1 is created. A1 is called in display method. It is displaying I in superclass, which is 10. Now object B is getting created. B called super constructor. I is initialized with 20. Now J is getting initialized with 30. We assign j is equal to b, which is 30. Next is, this is object b1, and b1 dot show, we'll call show method for class b. It will display value of I is 20 and 30. Note that this I is different and this is different. And here it is available. It's showing, means here we have not defined variable I. Still we can use I as of its own variable. Now instead of making it default, if I change its um, access specifier to private, let's see whether it will work or not. Now I have modified this variable. Instead of int I, now it is private int I. But still it will be executed for super keyword, because we are not initializing I here, but I'm not able to print I because I is not accessible. I is private to class A, so only class A method can access variable I. This is show method, which is method of class B. B cannot access variable I. So here I have two options. What I can do is I can make this I protected. Protected means it is available to the child class also. Or I can call show method of super class using super keyword. So if I make it protected, this error will be resolved. Now I is visible in my child class. So a program will work and you will get the output. Another method is let it private. I didn't want to change the visibility. Let it private. And what we can do is, instead of displaying this here, just call super.show. So first it will call show method of super class. It will display value of I, and then it will display value of j. So this is second use of super keyword. It can be used to call methods of superclass. So my variable is private. Variable I is private, but still we can able to display that variable with the method of that class itself. And how to call that class method? Using super keyword. It is available if and only if the method is overridden. And you can, the method signature in base class and child class is exactly same. So super.show will call super class method, that is class A's super method, show method, and it will display value of I. It's displaying I is 10. I is, this is for this one, a1.show. Now I is 20 is for this println statement is getting executed for b1.show. It has called super.show. So super.show is saying system.out.println I is and 20. And next is, it will display b1 dot system.out.println j is, which is 30. Now suppose here this variable I is available in class B. If I make it protected, that means variable I is available in class B, and here again I define integer I. If I have integer I, which is defined in base class as well as subclass. So what about this I? So this I is getting hidden by this I. This is confusing. Just imagine that if this is not there, if this I is, we haven't defined variable I in class B has two variables, variable I, which it has inherited from class A, and its own variable J. Now, if I'm defining one variable int I here, so this class B has its own two variables I and j, and one base class variable which is I. So we have two definitions of one variable. So this base class variable is hidden by this child class variable. This is there, but it gets hidden by this new definition of variable I. Note that in one, what we can say, in one block, we can define variable only once. So if I use here I is equal to A, it will work. And it can display just a minute, students. Hello. ऐका ना, माझं लेक्चर चालू आहे ना, मी करते तुम्हाला फोन. So variable I is common between base class and child class. Let make it default only. So this definition is hidden by class B. And here I can display variable of class I as well as J. Like this. So if I execute this code, it is still saying I have to use this I. So here we can call superclass constructor. So here I need to pass three variables because two variables are for class A, class B's ij, and one variable is for class A's I. So I have to pass A, B, and C. So A, it will initialize this I. B, it will initialize I of class B. And J is for, C is for this J. So to create object, again, I have to pass three variables, three parameters, 20, 30, 40. I'm getting errors step by step because Java is using interpreter. Otherwise, in like C language, we get all the errors at a time. We can eliminate all the errors and run the program. But in case of Java, we get error, we rectify it, again we'll run the code, and then it will find out new errors. This is because of Java executes program line by line. This is just for A1. Now object B is getting created. You can see here we have three variables, 20, 30, and 40, and class B has two instances, I and J. Here compiler is not showing third instance of I, but it is there. It will initialize this I, which is not shown here, but this is I is B, B means 30, and J is 40. And show method, it is just displaying I and J, so it will display 30 and 40. And what about 20? Where 20 is initialized and how to display this 20? We have assigned this 20 to super A. If I want to use value of this A2, if I want to display this value of this I2, then I have to use super keyword here in printf statement. Of class A is super.I. This is the third use of super keyword. We can access variables of superclass using super keyword. We can use call constructor of superclass using super keyword, and we can call superclass method with the help of super keyword. Instead of this, we can also call super.show. So this will show superclass variable I, then subclass variable I and j. So objects are created, and now it is creating object of class B, which has 30, 40, and 20. And now superclass method is called system.out.println I of class A is super.I. Note that control is not moved to show of superclass, but it is showing value of superclass, which is 20. And 20 you cannot see here because that value is hidden by this. And this value of I is the instance value or instance variable 30 and then 40. So you are getting this output, but we can have two variables with the same name, same data type exist in the same class. One is getting hidden by another, but you can retrieve that value using super keyword. In C++, we can access super class value with scope resolution operator. So I hope you understood what is a super keyword. So I'll go to the PPTs again. So there will be a times when you will run to create a super class. You want to create a super class that will keep the details of its implementation to itself. Means all the data members must be private. So if variables are private and a child class want to access those variables, so here super keyword can come to your rescue. In this case, there will be no way for a subclass to directly access or initialize these variables by its own. We have seen we are getting errors if the data is private. As encapsulation is primary attribute of object-oriented programming, Java also provides solution for this problem. And the solution is whenever a subclass needs to refer its immediate superclass, note that immediate superclass. If there is a hierarchy like A inherits B, B inherits C, C inherits D. So if D calls super, that means it is referring to C class. It is immediate superclass. It can do so by use of the keyword super. Super has two general forms. The first called superclass constructor and second is called used to access members of superclass which are has been hidden by the members of subclass. If you have methods with the same name or variables with the same name in both classes, subclass as well as superclass, to access superclass version, we need to use superclass, super keyword. We have used super to call superclass constructor. A subclass can call a constructor defined by its superclass by use of following form: super and argument list. We have just called super dot display. Sorry, super a, and we passed variable a. Here argument list specified by any argument needed by the constructor in the superclass. Note that in our example we have used only one constructor, but you know that we can overload constructors. We can have any number of constructors with different list of parameters. Here I am using just one variable. If I have three variables in my class A, so I need a constructor with three parameters. So I can have more versions of super keyword or super constructor, and for each constructor we can call a super keyword. Super must always, this is very important, super must always be the first statement executed inside subclass constructor. Like here, whenever we use super for a constructor, it should be the first statement. In this class we have constructor with only one parameter. If I have constructor with two parameters, then I need one constructor here, a int a comma int b, and from b I have to pass super a comma b. So it will call a constructor which is matching with this list of parameters. So in class box weight, we know that box weight has box class has three variables: height, width, and depth, and box weight has fourth parameter, that is weight. So height, width, and depth. And in box weight, we have fourth parameter weight. So box weight constructor takes four parameters from user: width, height, sorry, weight, height, depth, and this is mass. Suppose width, height, depth, and mass. It will call superclass constructor with width, height, and depth, which will initialize a box, and then it will initialize weight. Next use of super keyword, we have seen that it is used to call method of a superclass or access members of a superclass. Second form of super act somewhat like this, except that it always refer to the superclass of the subclass in which it is used. This usage has the following general form: super dot member. This member can be a method or a variable like super dot display or super dot show or super dot I. So variable member can be a variable or a instance variable, method or instance variable. This second form of super is most applicable to situations in which member names of subclass hide by the same name in superclass. If you have a variable with the same name in subclass and superclass, there we can use super keyword to access superclass method. We have just seen this example, variable I and super dot I. So super is a keyword used to refer to hidden variables of superclass from subclass, like super dot a equal to a, where a is member of child class and this a is member of superclass. It is used to call a constructor of a superclass from the constructor of subclass, which should be the first statement, super a comma b. It is used to call superclass method from subclass method to avoid redundancy of a code, super dot add numbers or super dot show in our case. So these are three usage of super keyword. So when you call a constructor in class hierarchy, constructors are called in the order of derivation from superclass to subclass. We have seen this example. A inherits B, B inherits C, and whenever you create object of class C, A's constructor is called first, then B's constructor, and then C's constructor. So super must be the first statement executed in subclass constructor. So in this order, the same whether or not super is used. If super is not used, then default or parameterized constructor of each superclass will be executed automatically. So I have shown this example before. I have class A. This is a default constructor. It is showing A's constructor. Class B extends A. This is again a default constructor of class B. It is displaying inside B's constructor. You can copy this code and execute. C extends B. So this is which type of inheritance? Multi-level. A inherits B, B inherits C. So this is multi-level inheritance. And if you create object of child class, that is class C, C small c is equal to new C. So it by this new and C, it will call C's constructor. C's constructor, C extends B, so it automatically calls B's constructor. Before executing B's constructor, B extends A, so it calls A's constructor, and this line will get executed first inside A's constructor. Then this line will get executed, and this one. So you'll get three outputs: inside A's constructor, inside B's constructor, and inside C's constructor. You have to execute this code and check. Why is super needed to access superclass member? We have created a subclass. We have created a specific version of superclass. What is a superclass? It is a general class, and subclass is more specific class. So we have created its very general, a specific version. Then why we need superclass variables, and to access those variables, why we need super keyword? So when a subclass declares the variable or method with the same name and type of its superclass, here variable I is 1, here variable I is 2, and here we are printing I. So what it will print, 1 or 2? It will print 2, because the compiler always try to refer to immediate definition. And what about this I? It is hidden by this. So to display, if you want to display this value also, then you need to display it with super.I. So the redeclaration variables methods hide those of in the superclass. Is it clear? Use of super keyword. So this ends our unit number 4. So in unit number 4, we have seen what is inheritance, then types of inheritance, base class and derived class. We have seen access modifiers, method overriding, and lastly super keyword. Any queries about any topic of unit 4? Types of inheritance: single, hierarchical, multi-level, hybrid, and multiple. Multiple inheritance is supported by Java with the help of interfaces that we are going to see in unit number 5. So single inheritance, one subclass, one superclass. Hierarchical, a parent can have more than one child. That is called hierarchical. Multi-level, each parent will have one child only. So such a level is called multi-level inheritance. If we have multi-level plus hierarchical, we can call it as a hybrid inheritance. And in case of multiple, a child can have more than one parent. So we have seen example of each type of inheritance with the help of Python visualizer. We talked about what is base class, what is derived class, what is the use of inheritance. Then we have seen access specifiers in Java, private, public, protected, and default. We have also seen method overriding, defining the same method in base class as well as all child class. Child class can make that method more specific version. We can use super keyword to call superclass method, superclass variable, or superclass constructor. We have seen the difference between overloading and overriding. The important term we have seen yesterday is dynamic method dispatch. Base class reference, using base class reference, we can call methods of child class. So we have created reference of base class and we can call methods of child class. Depending upon which object we are storing in that reference, that particular method is called. That's why it is called runtime polymorphism or dynamic method dispatch. And today we have seen usage of super keyword. Any queries about unit number 3 or 4? No queries, we'll stop here.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you please tell a little bit about the T2 paper pattern, as in what kind of question would be
It
there?
will be not like T1, no MCQs. It will be a paper pen method. You have to write, say, descriptive answers. You may have to write some code also. So that's what I can tell you right now.
Okay, thank you.